Hey, it's Kyle here. I'm very excited to talk about the newest episode of The Bad Batch, Metamorphosis. But before I get started talking about that episode, just a warning, this review will include spoilers, so if you haven't watched the episode yet, please watch it and then come back and watch this review. Boy, I am very excited to talk about this episode. This is just a gut reaction. This is definitely my favorite episode of this season, and it might be my favorite episode of the series. Absolutely loved it. It had so much going on to it. An amazing combination of different genres in one episode. You have the beginning of the episode when the Batch arrive on the ship to kind of attempt to scavenge it on Sid's orders. You clearly have a very horror movie, very much inspired by Alien. The atmosphere was amazing. Loved it. It reminded me a lot of the old Expanded Universe Star Wars book that I loved a lot, Death Troopers. It so much had a great horror movie vibe to it. It was awesome. And then the Batch discovers the Beast, and we have that little fight on the ship. Still very much feels like Alien at that part, but when the Beast escapes the ship, and it becomes clear once the Beast begins to grow more that the Zillo Beast is back. And then of course you get all the classic elements from a Godzilla movie. When the Imperials show up and the Batch are flying on the ships, and very much feels like a classic moment from King Kong. So you have these kind of big monster movie elements coming in. Everything going on Mount Tantus very much has this feeling of like conspiracies, government secrets. There's just so much going on in this episode, and I love all of it. In addition to just all those cool moments I just mentioned, I kind of glossed over some of it, but you get some major lore drops in this episode that one relate to the overall plot of the Bad Batch and advancing a lot, but also going back and answering some unanswered questions from the Clone Wars. The first one obviously being the Zillo Beast. That's one of the main questions. What happened to the Zillo Beast? What happened to the Zillo Beast? Well, we now know that they were successful in the cloning and stuff like that. So that was an amazing moment. We get to see more of Mount Tantus and learn more what's going on there. Obviously, that was a huge part of the expanded universe, and seeing Tantus become a bigger part of the new canon is amazing. Super excited to get to see this more throughout the Batch, and I'm wondering if he'll come up in other stuff, like everything going on with the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and stuff like that. Then obviously, I think a lot of people would soon be including that the Prime Minister of Camino had been killed by the Imperials, but we learned that's not the case. He was just taken prisoner. He was on Coruscant the entire time, so that was a big reveal that I don't have really heard anybody speculating on that we might find out more about that, so that was a really cool moment. I think we got the unveiling of the new big bad Imperial villain for the Batch. Obviously, our old Imperial henchman, which his name just completely went blank in my mind at the moment. But obviously he's gone. The Imperial Senate took him down when he was framed for the destruction of Camino. And now we have this new villain, the Doctor, which I'm very excited about. He was very interesting, very menacing, very scary right away. They did an amazing job introducing him, where clearly he knows Nala Se. Somehow they were colleagues, maybe friends, it's not clear. But the fact he goes from like a friendly greeting, oh, it's nice to see you again, and then basically implying, don't make me torture you to get what I want. That one little piece of dialogue there showed you everything you needed to know about this character. Know like, oh, he's bad, he's cunning, he seems to be smart. He's going to be a very formidable enemy to the Batch. And then obviously right at the end when the Prime Minister arrives and they're having that conversation, we get the reference to Omega. Obviously they don't say his name, but that's who they're alluding to, that the clone that Nala Se cares about. So now it looks like the Empire will be after the Batch again. We thought that part was over, but no, it's coming straight back. So I loved everything about this episode. A couple of things I wanted to mention. I always forget to mention this when I'm with the Batch, but every episode this strikes me, and so much more in this episode again. The animation in this series has been absolutely amazing. The opening scene where you had the damaged ship drifting through space. When I saw it, that literally took my breath away when I saw it. Oh, that is amazing animation. It's absolutely beautiful. They have been crushing animation in this series. It just keeps on getting better and better. Like all Star Wars, the music is always amazing. There were several moments throughout this episode. It's like, oh, the score in this episode is amazing. Loved it. Honestly, I have zero complaints with this episode. I thought it was absolutely perfect. I even loved the little element when the intelligence, the batch steals from this ship, when they're kind of figuring out what it is. Hunter immediately says, well, we need to send this to Rex and Echo. And you see kind of Omega have a little smile on her face, and they're like, oh, Hunter's still in the fight. He's not in the fight as much as Echo, but Echo's still part of our family, and Hunter's still going to reach out to him and help him, and maybe there is a way we'll reconnect at some point. So again, I just absolutely love this episode. Nothing but positive things to say. So let me know in the comment section below, what did you think of this episode? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Were you excited to see the Zillo Beast as much as I was? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate the support. I'm also doing reactions to the Mandalorian. So if you'd like to see my reaction to the first episode of Season 3, that link will be somewhere up here, so be sure to check that out. Again, thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe. I'll see you the next time, and may the Force be with you.